Hello students, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. So here we're continuing with the summaries of 10th class English, and so far Unit 1 completely over, and in Unit 2 reading A is completed. Okay, the Dear Departed Part 1 is over. It is actually the together play, but since it is too long, it is divided into Part 1, Part 2, reading A and reading B. So in this video I will be teaching you reading B. Reading A is already in the playlist. You can just watch it in the 10th class English playlist. And as we get into this text here, reading B. So those who didn't watch reading A, please go to the playlist there and watch it, so that you will be able to understand reading B here very well. The part 2, it is the connection. Okay, so if you are not aware of reading A part 1, and if you directly come to part 2 here, then there will be no connection, there will be no link between what happened before and what is happening now. So this play is divided into two. So in the part 1 we had seen that Abel Meriwether, he was just laying on the bed. Mrs. Slaughter and Elizabeth, okay, they're both husbands, and Slaughter's daughter Victoria, they all are in one place, and Victoria goes up after so much arguments, and after exchanging some of the things of her father. And when Victoria goes up and sees, her grandfather usually gets up and comes down. Okay, so here they all think that he is a ghost. Okay, so as you know that the elder daughter Slater and her husband, they both try to bring down all the things of her father from the first floor. Okay, so on the other hand, the younger daughter and her husband, okay, Elizabeth and Ben, they both come to see the dead father, and here they finally end up seeing the dead father coming alive. Okay, so here this part 2 is usually we in the most of the books we say only part 1, okay, till where Abel Meriwether gets up and comes down. But this is part 2, which is a complete conclusion and completion, where the real characters of both daughters are revealed. Okay, so here let us get into the text. So that's why I explained this much, because those who didn't watch part 1, please do watch it, then only you can understand this part 2 very well. Okay, so but this is a little introduction to part 1, so that you will be having a little idea of what is part 1 is. So here Abel Meriwether, okay, now he got up from the bed. So all these people, these 5 people, they are just they keep on staring at him as though he is a ghost. Okay, but Abel Meriwether, the thing is, Abel Meriwether doesn't know, okay, that the family, the both families are completely there for his death. Actually they thought that he is dead and they are there. Okay, but he doesn't know that. Okay, Abel Meriwether doesn't know that. So now he comes down and he says, what's the matter with little Vicky? Okay, Vicky here in the sense Victoria. Okay, he sees Ben and Mrs. Jordan. Hello, what brings you here? How is yourself, Ben? So here, this little girl, Victoria, she actually runs from upstairs and comes down to the place where her parents are there and uncle and aunt are there. So since this girl came, in running, her grandfather Abel Meriwether saw her, and he thought something happened to Victoria. So that's why he's asking what happened to Vicky. So after that, he also sees Ben, okay, his son-in-law, and Mrs. Jordan, okay, who is Elizabeth, the younger daughter. Okay, so he looks them and he says, hello, why did you come here? Like, what brings you here? What is the reason for coming and all? Okay, and he's also asking how is Ben and all. Next, so Abel Meriwether, he thrusts his hand, and Ben, who skips back smartly and retreats with Mrs. John to a safe distance below the sofa. So here, actually, when he comes down, when the old man comes down, he just tries to shake hand or move hand to give a shake hand to Ben. But Ben here is completely afraid. He doesn't want to touch. He's thinking that he will marry with whether he's a ghost. So that's why he maintains some distance there, going beside his husband, okay, who is Elizabeth. Okay, next one here, Mrs. Slaughter approaching Abel gringerly. Father, is that you? And she pokes him with her hand to see if he is solid. So is here Mrs. Slaughter, the elder daughter, is in still doubt. Abel Meriwether is coming down, he's just standing in front of them, he's even speaking. But still here, Mrs. Slaughter, she cannot believe her eyes. And she asks her father, Father, is that you? And to confirm whether it was ghost or it was a person, she also pokes her finger to Abel Marriott to see whether like is really a person, like a human or a ghost. So Abel, of course it's me. Don't do that, Amelia. What the devil do you mean by this tomfoolery? Okay, tomfoolery in the sense like brainless person. Why are you doing like stupid like that? So why are you like poking into me? It is hurting. You are looking like a stupid and all. Mrs. Jordan, you took us by surprise, father. Are you keeping quite well? Abel, yeah, what? Mrs. Jordan, are you quite well? Abel, yeah, I'm right enough, but a bit of headache. So looking at Amelia, what the dickens did I do with my new slippers? So here Elizabeth comes forward after the Amelia, after poking her finger into Abel Mario's body. So now Elizabeth comes and she asks, Father, are you okay? Is everything all right with your health and all? So here the old man says, yeah, I'm fine. What happened? Nothing happened to me. I just have a little bit of headache and all, that's it. And he, looking for Emilia, searching for Emilia, the elder daughter, he asks for his slippers. Okay, so where did I keep my slippers and all? So Mrs. Slaughter, confused, aren't they by the hurt, father? Okay, aren't they by near the firing place? Okay, usually in the western countries they have this fireplace, okay, where the wood is usually burned inside the house. Okay, so now Emily is telling, aren't they nearby that? So Abel, I don't see them. Observing Henry trying to remove the slippers, why you have got them on, Henry? Okay, so now Abel man, whether he says, no, I didn't see them, where are they and all. Now before in the part one we know that uh, Henry already wore the slippers of this old man. They thought that this old man is dead, and Amelia even gave her father's slippers to her husband. So now when Abel Meriwether asked for his slippers, Henry started to let go of the slippers. So when Abel Meriwether saw that, he's asking, why did you wear my slippers and all? Okay, next, Mrs. Slaughter, I told him to put them on to stretch them. They were that new and hard. Now, Henry. So Mrs. Slaughter snatches the slippers from Henry and gives them to Abel, who puts them on and sits in the armchair. So now immediately, Emilia tries to cover up what they did before. So immediately she tells, they are very solid. They are, since they are new. So I just told him to keep for stretching, but he didn't do. Remove your slippers, Henry, now. Okay. So she took the slippers from Henry and gave them to the old man. So the old man wore the slippers and here he sat in the armchair. Okay, next one, Mrs. Jordan to Ben. Well, I don't call that delicate, stepping into a dead man's shoes in such haste. Victoria runs across to Abel and sits on the floor at his feet. So as we can see here in the picture, Victoria, she loves her grandfather very much, and her grandfather also loves Victoria very much. So they love each other, as we had seen in the part 1. So here immediately Victoria says, oh grandpa, I'm so glad you are not dead. So when Elizabeth here tells, I don't call that delicate, we have directly uh, you know come into a dead man's house, and now I see that Henry is wearing the slippers of a dead man. Okay, So now I don't think that it is not a normal thing. Okay, how can people wear the slippers of a dead man? So here Victoria immediately, she is a girl, little girl of 10 years, so she doesn't know actually what is happening and all. So Victoria, she says, oh grandpa, I'm glad. So I'm so glad that you're not dead. So Slater, hold your tongue, Victoria. So the mother is trying to cover up what the daughter is speaking. Usually this happens in the house, right? So Abel, eh? What's that? Who is gone dead? Slater. Victoria says she's sorry about your head. Abel. Ah, thank you, Vicky, but I'm feeling better. So here, when Victoria says that she is happy because her grandfather is not dead, immediately the mother says, oh, Victoria, uh, please stop speaking like that. Don't say that your grandfather is dead and all. So Abel Meriwether, he doesn't know that they're so far they're speaking about his death and all. So here immediately the mother tries to cover up, saying no, she is just speaking about your headache and all, nothing to worry about that. So here Abel also tells, okay fine, no problem, feeling somewhat better. So here what happens is, all the mistakes of the daughters, mostly the mistakes of Emilia, are just sprouting out. Like Abel is trying to catch all the mistakes or all the things that happened to him, thinking that he was dead. So now this old man is asking for that question, this question. Okay, he doesn't know what happened till then. He was just lying on the bed upstairs. Okay, so now the daughters both try to cover up the things that they had so far discussed about him. Okay, so now Abel, why Ben, you are in mourning? And Lizzie too, and Amelia and Henry and little Vicky, who is gone dead? It's someone in the family. Okay, so he chuckles. He chuckles in the sense, like a small smile on the face. So here the old man is asking, why are you all Ben, Elizabeth, okay, Elizabeth, okay, Lizzie in the sense Elizabeth, okay, Emilia, Henry, and little Vicky. Everybody is in mourning. Mourning in the sense the sad situation. Okay, usually in the Western countries, what happens is, if someone dies, okay, if someone dies, they come to the ceremony, the death ceremony, with the black cloths. Okay, they wear all black clothes, black dresses and all. Okay, in India we don't see such sort of things. Only we see some people of some rich families wearing these white dresses. Okay, but in Western countries they wear black dresses to show that they are in sad situation. So immediately looking at their appearances, Abel Meriwether understands that someone is dead like that. Okay, so since they are wearing black color, so he asks who is dead and all. So Mrs. Slater, no one, father, a relation of Ben's. So immediately Slater, she interrupts and she says, nobody, father, none of our relationship, our relatives have been dead. It is someone, who is the relative of Ben. So Abel, and what relation of Ben? Slater, his brother, Ben. Damn it, I never had one. Okay, actually, Ben doesn't have a brother, but they try to cover up, all the lies, like one lie to hide another one. Okay, and another lie to hide another one, another lie to hide another one. Okay, so this is how they try to cover up everyone with some more and more and lies. Okay, so now actually Ben doesn't have any brother, but here Slater says his brother. Immediately Ben, so to Slater, slowly he says, damn it, I never had a brother. Abel, dear. And what was his name? Ben. We just crosses to front of the table, and Slater, right side of the table, prompting Frederick, and Jordan, left side of the table, prompting Albert. And here Ben, Fred, Isaac. Okay, so see here what happens is, when the old man asks for the name of the dead person, immediately Slater says Frederick, Jordan says Albert, and Ben says Isaac. Okay, Fred, Isaac, because he's The thing that these short forms, these phrases are because he's trying to bring some name into his mind, because he doesn't actually have this idea that this question will be posed to him. He's not ready for this question. So immediately he tries to remember some of the other names, and he finally says Isaac. So immediately all these three people at once, like without any difference in a like 1 or 2 seconds also, like one after the another, immediately at a time they give three different names. Okay, so see here, so it becomes a type of a comedy for them. So none of them know what the other person is saying, what the other person tries to give the name, okay, the name that they give. So here immediately Abel says Isaac. And where did your brother Isaac die? Ben here, he tries to come up with new interesting in Australia. Abel, well, I suppose you have been waiting for me to begin tea. I'm feeling hungry. So here the thing is over. So the thing of the dead person is over. So immediately the Abel Meriwether, he says, okay, fine, no problem. Now I'm actually feeling a little bit hungry, and I want to have tea. Yeah, so now Mrs. Slater, taking up the kettle. You know the kettle, right? The tea one. Okay, so where we put the tea and make it heat. Okay, so I will make tea. Abel, come along now, sit you down and let's be jolly. Abel sits at the head of the table facing spectators. So you all know the head of the table, right? So here usually when there is a dining table, the head of the table, like the head of the family member, he sits in the middle. Okay, so in front of him the spectators, in the sense that the people sit in front of him like this. Okay, in this way, in these corners. Okay, so here the old man comes and sits in the main chair, and these people sit around the table here. Okay, so here the elder daughter is trying to bring the kettle, the tea kettle here. Okay, so here we have seen Abel suddenly recollecting, hey, Amelia and Henry, what the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom? Henry and Mrs. Slater are speechless. Do you hear me? Henry, Amelia. So here in the part 1 we had seen that both Amelia and Henry had shifted the bureau of this old man downstairs. As you can see here, bureau, this one, the new one, and also this clock too. So these both have come down because they thought that the old man is dead, and if younger sister comes, she will just pick up some of the things of the father. So Emilia doesn't want to lose those things, and she brought it down before her sister Elizabeth comes to home. So now the able Meriwether, the old man, he is not dead. He comes down and he sees that bureau, and immediately he asks, what happened to my bureau? Why is it down and all? Okay, so he also again says, do you hear me, Henry, Amelia? He's just shouting at them. Okay, so Mrs. Jordan, what bureau was that, father? Abel, why? My bureau, the one I bought. So here the younger daughter interrupts and she says, father, about which bureau are you speaking? Because the younger daughter, she doesn't know that the bureau belongs to her father. Okay, so here Abel Meriwether, he says, the one which I bought, the one which is right in front of my eyes. Jordan, pointing to the bureau, was it the one, father? Abel, yeah, that is it. What's it doing here? Huh? A pause. The clock on the master mental piece strikes 6. Everyone looks at it. Okay, so it just rings. The clock rings there. So drat me if that isn't my clock too. What the devil's been going on in this house? A slight pause. So here Abel Meriwether, he just confirms that the bureau was his, and immediately the time was 6 o'clock, and there was a bell, ding dong bell in the clock. So immediately everybody looks at the clock, and even Abel Meriwether also looks at the clock and she says, "What? Why my clock is here? What my clock is doing here? Is something devilish going on in the house? What is happening in the house?" So he just is confused. He doesn't know why the bureau is down. He doesn't know why the clock is there on the in the downstairs. He doesn't know why Henry is wearing his slippers. Okay, everything seems confused to the old man. Okay, so Ben, well, I'll be hanged. Mrs. Jordan, rising, I will tell you what's been going on in this house, father. Nothing sort of robbery. Slatter, be quiet, Elizabeth. Jordan, I will not be quiet. Oh, I call it double faced. Henry, no, now, now, Elizabeth. Jordan, and you too. Are you such a poor creature that you must do every dirty thing she tells you? Here, Abel Meriwether, he says, thumping the table. Damn it all. Will someone tell me what's been going on? So here, when Abel Meriwether tells, even the clock belongs to him, immediately Mrs. Jordan, that means Elizabeth, she comes to know or she understands what is going on. Okay, now she understands that her sister brought the bureau and the clock downstairs, and immediately she tells her father, father, there is nothing sort of robbery going on in the house. I will tell you what is going on here. So immediately her sister interrupts and says, no, no, Elizabeth, don't tell anything, keep quiet. Okay, so and Elizabeth is not ready for that, and even Henry also says, no, no, Elizabeth, now be quiet. Okay, even after that, Elizabeth is not ready to be quiet. Okay, and she also starts to scold them, you are just like little poor creatures. Okay, you are being so dirty by bringing all these things of father down. So here, actually, both both the sisters now understand what is going on and all. So the younger one actually understands what is going on, but Abel Meriwether doesn't know what is going on. So immediately he just thumbs on the table, like he just beating the table, making it to keep everyone shut their mouths. So immediately he just bangs on the table and he says, no, somebody tell me what is going on. What is this all about? So Jordan, yes, I will. I will not see you robbed. Okay, she doesn't want to see her father robbed. Abel, who has been robbing me? Jordan, Amelia and Henry, they have stolen your clock and bureau. Working herself up, they sneaked into your room like thieves in the night and stole them after you were dead. Henry and Slater, hush, quiet, Elizabeth. Jordan, I will not be stopped after you were dead, I say. So here, Jordan, she says, Mrs. Jordan, she says, I don't want to see you robbed, father. I will tell you everything what is going on in this house. See, both, sister and her husband, they both brought your bureau and the clock downstairs after you were dead. And now immediately, when she is trying to tell everything that she understood, the both, Henry and Slater, they both try to shut the mouth of Elizabeth here. Okay, so here she doesn't keep quiet. She says, not now, again she repeats that after you are dead they brought all these things down. And here Abel Meriwether says, after who was dead? Jordan, you. Abel, but I'm not dead. Jordan, no, but they thought you were. A pause. Abel gazes around them. Abel, oh, so that's why you are all in black today. And you thought I was dead? He chuckles. That was a big mistake. He sits and resumes his tea. Okay, so here, when Mrs. Jordan, she again says, after you were dead, they brought these things down. And now Abel Meriwether, he gets a doubt. What? Who is dead? And here she confirms that, you know, these both Slater and Amelia Slaughter and Henry, they both thought that you were dead and they brought the things down and all. So now Abel Meriwether understands why they are all in the mourning, like in the black dresses and all. So he tells, so you all thought that I was dead, but that is a big mistake. I was not dead, I was just sleeping. So Slaughter, sobbing in the sense, a sort of crying, okay, like crocodile tears. Father, Abel, it didn't take you long to start dividing my things between you. I will tell you what I am going to do. Since your mother died, I have lived a part of the time with you, Amelia, and part with you, Lizzie. Well, I shall make a new will, leaving all my bits of things to whoever I am living with when I die. So how does that strike you? So now they both, Mrs. Slater, tries to ask for forgiveness, like she says father. So immediately Abel Meriwether, he starts telling, see, um, immediately you thought that I was dead, and you both are starting to divide the things between you. So since your mother is dead, I lived some of the time with you and some of the time with you, like pointing to two daughters. Okay, so here he says, see, now from now, in whosever house I pass away, like in whosever house I die, my all things belong to that person only, that family only, that house only. So now there is a type of agreement, like wherever I am dead, to that house only all my properties will be going to. So now immediately Jordan says, father, it's quite a time you came to live with us again. It would make you very comfortable. So here Elizabeth again says, actually before he could come here, before could come to Mrs. Ladder's house, the old man was with Mrs. Jordan, okay, in their house. So now Mrs. Jordan says, so father, now it has been very long time you didn't come to our house, now come and live with us. So here Mrs. Slater says, no, he's not been with us as long as he was with you. So actually they divided their father, like uh, these many years, for example 3 years, okay, 3 years he has to be with younger daughter, and 3 years he has to be with elder daughter. So now immediately elder daughter, she says, no, 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 he didn't live with us as long as he lived with you, so he has to be here only. Jordan, I may be wrong, but I don't think father will fancy living on with you after all what happened today. So here immediately Jordan tries to defend, the argument whatever that is happening, and she says, see, of course it has not been so long, but today so many things happen, so our father must not be very happy to live with you after the things that happened today. So Abel Meriwether, he comes in between and says, it seems to me that neither of you has any cause to feel proud about the way you have treated me, Mrs. Slaughter. If I have done anything wrong, I'm sorry for it. Jordan, and I can't say more than that too. Abel, it's a bit late to say now. Neither of you cared to put up with me. Slater and Jordan, no, no, father. Hey, you both say that because of what I have told you about leaving my money. Well, since you don't want me, I will go to someone that does. Okay, so now here, since they both try to take their father with them, now immediately the old man, he says, see, okay, fine, you are not trying to decide the things up, so I understand that you don't have any love on me, and he says that he wants to live with someone else who can care for him. So immediately Slater says, father, if I did something wrong, I'm sorry, you have come and stay with us. Okay, Jordan says, no, father, see, whatever that I have to tell you, I have told, that's it. Okay, I can't tell you more than that. Okay, so now the thing is, you have to come and live with me. But looking at their both arguments, statements, and trying to take them, now Abel Meriwether understands that they're trying to take their father only because of the money, okay, which he told just before. Okay, he said that whoever house I pass away, my all things like my money, my jewelry, everything belongs to them. So now they are fighting to take their father with them. Okay, but if suppose if he passes away in the younger daughter's house, all things will go to her only. If he passes away in the elder daughter's house, all of his belongings will go to elder daughter only. So that's why they are now fighting. So looking at both of them, they Abel Meriwether understood that both daughters are only caring for money, property, and things that the old man has, and they are not at all caring to love their father and to look after him at all. So that's why Abel Meriwether, he decided to go and stay with someone who loves him. Ben, come, Mr. Meriwether, you have got to live with one of your daughters. But here Ben doesn't know that Abel Merriweather already decided some things up. So that's why Ben says, okay, come on, old man, see, how can you say that someone would care for you? Because you have two daughters, you have to live with any one of them. That is your choice. Where do you live other than them? So here Abel Merriweather, he tells, I will tell you what I have got to do on Monday next. I have got to do three things. I have got to go to the lawyers and make and alter my will, and I have to go to the insurance office and pay my premium, and I have got to go to Philip's church and get married. Ben and Henry, what? Mr. Jordan, get married? Slater, he's out of his senses. Abel, I say I am going to get married. Slater, to who? Okay, so here Abel Merriweather says, see, since you both, my lovely daughters, are not at all deciding the things up, so I want to live with someone who can look after me. And who is that? What is he going to do? He is actually going to marry someone. So he says, see, on Monday I'm going to do three things. One is to pay his premium, another one is to go to his lawyer and alter his wills, and the third thing is to go and marry. So everybody is shocked. Ben and Henry, he says, what? And here Mrs. Jordan, she says, get married. And Mrs. Slater says, he's out of his senses. Okay, so again, he, to make his words that which is a meaning, okay, he means what he says. So to make them more strong, again he says, I say I'm going to get married. Okay, so he's giving them a very strong statement. He's deciding the things up very seriously. Okay, so here Mrs. Slater, she says, to who? To whom are you going to get married? So Abel Merriweather, to Mrs. John Sherrocks, who keeps the Ringo bells. We have had it fixed up a good while now, but I was keeping it for a pleasant surprise. He rises. I felt I was a bit of burden to you, so I found someone who would think it a pleasure looking after me. So we shall be very glad to see you at the ceremony. He gets to the door. Till Monday then, 12 o'clock at St. Philip's Church. Opening the door, it is a good thing that you brought my bureau downstairs. Amelia, so it will be handier to carry it across the Ringo bells on Monday. And he goes out. So, after having a cup of coffee, he tells, see, I'm going to marry Mrs. John Shorrocks, who keeps the Ringo bells. That means who is the owner of the Ringo bells. You can see the Ringo bells here. Okay, so that is a kind of a restaurant. Okay, so here he says, see, actually I wanted to tell you all with a pleasant surprise, but this is a different thing that I'm stating you all now, looking at the things that are happening in front of me. So I feel that I am so much of burden to you all, so I don't want to keep myself as a burden to you all. So I want to go to a person who can love me and take care of me. So that is Mrs. John Shorrocks. So he goes to the door and he opens the door and he says, okay, remember everyone, you all come to St. Philip's Church at 12 o'clock on Monday. And he also, before he could go, he tells to Amelia, and like he thanks Amelia for bringing the bureau down, because on Monday he will leave from there and he will take all his things with him. So it would be a little bit hard for him to bring the bureau down. So before he could bring it down, they only brought it down. Okay, so that's why he cracks a type of humorous joke there, and he leaves the house and he closes the door. So here the curtain falls. So this is written by William Stanley Houghton. Okay, students, so this is how the middle class family of the Britain in those days has been presented. Okay, like the people mindset, the how the people are thinking, like their ideology, their love towards the materialistic things, materialistic world is clearly depicted, picturized in this part 1 and part 2. Okay, so that is what the writer here, William Stanley Houghton, wanted to show to the readers and the audience. Okay, so here about the author, William Stanley Houghton, born in 1881 and passed away in 1913, was a famous English dramatist. Okay, he was a dramatist. He was one of the best of a group of realistic playwrights, often called the Manchester School. So he was one of the member of this Manchester School. In every play, he sought to present an idea. So in whatever the plays he has written, he tries with a writes with an idea, like with a theme. There will be some information which he actually wants to give to the society in that play. Okay, so he had a remarkable gift for dialogue that is evident in the Dear Departed. So he is also very specific and he is very good at his dialogues, which we can see in the Dear Departed. So the Dear Departed was first produced in Manchester in 1908. So it was also produced in this Manchester school. So where here Houghton satirizes the degradation of moral values in the British middle class. So in this whole Dear Departed, the playwright here, Houghton, he wanted to show how the moral values of middle class Britain families are being degraded. Okay, as we can see, there is no love, no compassion, no kindness, no caring for the father by the both daughters. They just want the things of the father. That's it. Okay, so this is of the author here, Houghton, brought out the society, the nature of the society which was existed in those days, in like in the period which he lived. Okay, so this is it about him, and here we have got some glossary. Gingerly, in a careful way. Poke, push, what the devil. Old fashioned way of showing annoyance or displeasure. This phrase is always used in questions. What the devil, in the sense like nowadays in modern days we say what the hell. Okay. Tomfoolery, foolish or silly behavior. What the dickens. So old fashioned, again it is also informal use, used in questions instead of devil. Okay, so instead of devil, we can use dickens. Okay, so devil to show that you are annoyed or surprised. Vindictive whisper, talking about someone in a harsh hasty manner. Double faced, hypothetical, and deceitful or dishonest. Next, thumping, hitting hard. Will, legal document that says what is to happen to somebody's property after his death. Okay, so the second thing that he was to do on Monday, that he is going to do some will at his lawyer. That means he is going to make his property belong to someone, like not to his daughters, but he's trying to, he's finally going to make up the things. Okay, next, fancy, want or feel like. Consternation, a worried sad feeling. Ringo bells, the name of the restaurant. Next, handier, easier. Okay, so this is it for this video, students. So in the next video I will be taking you through the reading B here, reading C here, which is the brave Potter. Okay, so in that also we see wit and humorous theme in that. Okay, so do not miss that class also. So watch that by subscribing and clicking on the bell icon, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, God bless you.